Hey YouTube, what's up? Dr. T here, and welcome to my hometown, St. Petersburg, Florida. We are located on the central west coast of Florida by Tampa Bay and in the Gulf of Mexico on the west side of the county. Take a minute to have a look at St. Petersburg in all its wonders, a piece of paradise to live in. If you are new to my channel, take a look around. You will find everything for one-stop shopping in the playlists. So, I'm currently looking into trading, and this is live relative to the market. You are currently looking at a website, World Coin Index. On here you will see all of the cryptocurrencies. We want to look at them in terms of their respective size. Clipping on the market cap shows us the big ones. So we have Bitcoin, which is the top one, we have Ethereum, which is the second one, and so on down. Now I'm not going to go through the whys and wherefores, a little bit of research, and I've decided that Ethereum is the place to trade for me. I'm not advocating this. There are plenty of other coins, but I'm decided I'm going to trade on Ethereum. The next thing is to find, I'll go through what I've done. So I've identified a cryptocurrency I want to trade, and the next is to identify an exchange. Now, if you go and look at Ethereum, it will pop up eventually. So this is the market live of yesterday's downside. These are indexes. These are exchanges. All of these are individual exchanges on which people can purchase and sell Bitcoin. So you're looking here live at the cycle time of how many seconds is what's happening. Green means there's been a purchase overall. Red means there's been a sell overall. And I've identified GDAX as the exchange I want to use. We'll come back here temporarily. Bitcoin is the top coin in terms of market cap. Bitcoin has an exchange of its own, and GDAX is a subsidiary of Bitcoin. Now, the reason to want to trade on GDAX is just the first piece of market research I came into. Looking at the YouTube information, it was implied, just demonstrated that you can trade on GDAX without having to pay any fees. If you trade under what is known as limit trading, we'll get to that, you can trade without any fees. So that's good enough for me, and we'll get into that. We'll pop in here temporarily. I've got it open, but we'll just have a look at the interface. Now, in order to, for instance, if you decided that you wanted to do what I'm doing, I'm not advocating that, then you would go to Coinbase and you would open an account. You would then come over to Djax and you would sign in like this. And the sign-in procedure requires that you really need to have a printer with a scanner on it. They need identification, and that identification comes in the form of your driver's license front and back, and they want a photo. They want a webcam photo. I don't have a webcam. I've purchased a webcam. When I come in, the procedurals will go through and enable you to take a picture, and then you'll be able to access your account. I've got the account up here. This is what the account looks like. I'm not going to get into that right now because it's kind of busy. We'll come back to that. So let's take a look at Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is a world unto itself. It has its own blockchain. I haven't read very much about this, but one can take a look at this. Ethereum has its own blockchain platform, and we can read through some of this because it underlines the importance of what it's all about. Ethereum is a decentralized platform that runs smart contracts. Now that's irrelevant as far as your trading is concerned. If you want to trade, you're just buying and selling the currency. But it also has other features which people have interest in, would want to buy this coin as opposed to buying other coins. Applications that run exactly as programmed without any possibility of downtime, censorship, fraud or third-party interference. These apps run on a custom-built blockchain, an enormously powerful shared global infrastructure that can move value around and represent the ownership of property. Now that's the whole aspect of this. That is, it is decentralized. It operates 24 hours a day. Nobody owns it, but you have to purchase through an exchange to actually buy and sell Ethereum. Now, the rest of this has to do with the aspect of this blockchain connected cryptocurrency and what they're going to be using for, which doesn't really concern us or me. So we'll come back over to the market once again, and let's step outside and just go over this temporarily. So these are all of the Bitcoins which we've been through and their various aspects. We'll take a look at the top two. There are 16 million coins of Bitcoin. There are 96 million coins of Ethereum. Their total market caps are represented, and they're the big two. They're the big two. This needs to be kind of done again. I think let's just trip that again. They're the big two. So you can see the order of the size of these, and then they drop off. The point of having an important big blockchain connected to a cryptocurrency, connected to a market, is that its stability, in regard to that you can have a foundation of security in regard to what's going on in this. So let's move on to the exchange itself. We can get rid of this. This is the interface. Let me just move out of here. It's kind of busy. Now there are two things here that you probably want to have up at the same time. You want to have your Ethereum up because it shows you the long term. Ethereum here will show you the long term. You can go and look at all of it. Now, like all of the cryptocurrencies, although this was initiated in 2008, it really didn't happen until 2017. 2017, you could say, was the birth of true cryptocurrencies and their interplay on the world market. It's had a balloon, a bubble, which has burst, and it's now going to look for a fundamental support level for going forwards, and that is currently being established. Has not been established yet, but it is being established. So we can come with inside that. One might want to keep an eye on where this is. With inside of here, you can look at a framework outside of what you can do on the exchange. For instance, the larger local picture. And you can take a look at what's happening across all of the exchanges at the same time. You can see that all of the exchanges are going up, or all the exchanges are going down. So I will keep that up and look at that as is necessary. Come into the exchange. When one gets in here, and I'm not in here yet, as far as I understand, you can transfer money in from your bank account, deposit. I haven't got a means of depositing anything yet because I'm not logged in, and I still have to do that. But as far as I can understand, you can deposit from your bank account with your bank number and your routing number. That remains to be seen whether that is true, but we will assume that you've got money on here, right? Now this is your interface. There are two overlays here, the blue line and the red line. The blue line is a 26-day moving average, and the orange line is a 12-day moving average. You can set these on candles or lines. Most people will have them set on candles. So this shows you the live operation of Ethereum through the DJAX exchange. Now there are two screens here with lots of numbers popping up and down on them. This shows you the actual purchases and sales that have happened from 7:55:43 up to 7:57:13. At the top banner here, depending on where it's going, it'll show you what the upper price is or the lower price is. The 1 day has a range of multiple days. As we go inside, it will come down. And it'll come down. So on 1 day we have like there's a, what's this, a 2-day margin? Is this? It's easier to start from the inside for me. So let's start on the inside. 1 minute, 1 hour. 5 minutes, 5 hours. 15 minutes, I presume that's 15 hours. So it's like the equivalent number of hours. So 1 hour will be days, so you've got a number of days. So you can see the various plots. The importance between the moving averages is to see where they intersect in regard to whether the market is going up or going down. So we're on a 6-day here. It shows that there's a spread between the 23-day moving average and the 12-day moving average following its down course of the last day. But that's over a longer period of time. As we come closer in, you'll see it's starting to show signs of a bottom at the 1 hour point. At the 15, it's showing definitely that there is a change here. Now, I'm doing kind of paper trading and trying to establish a methodology for trading. And I'm looking for something that you can do with some degree of automation in regard to, we'll say that you here have purchased the stock. Now, in regard to buying and selling, you'll follow the stock and you'll purchase it on the downside and you'll sell it on the upside. So what I'm looking into is to define a range that is suitable for automatic purchasing and buying and selling. And so here we have the top of the upside. Well, it's gone off there now, but so I wanted to fix a range that would not be affected by these local ups and downs here. And I've done some paperwork and come to the conclusion that for me, an $8 swing is within the range as of the moment of not tripping this thing out. Coming over to this side, the numbers in orange are buy orders for people who want to buy the stock when it's moving up, and the bottom one is for people who want to sell their stock when it's moving down. Correspondingly, someone's going to buy it when it's going down and someone's going to sell it when it's going up. Maybe a little bit confusing. You can see the amount of depth of the market under depth chart. This relates to this screen over here in regard to, these are resistance levels. The resistance levels are a block of purchasers who want to come into the market. They're looking to buy in as people sell into the market at this downside. That's the first support level. If it breaks through that, the next major support level we're finding is out here, and so on and so forth. And the corresponding thing happens on the upside. People want to buy in. You want to buy in when the market is moving up You want to buy in when it's moving up, not buy in when it's moving down. Buy in when it's moving up, sell when it's moving down, because we want to lock in a peak price and a bottom price for me and have an automated buy in and sell. So that's another view. So we'll come over to where my minute chart is, and I've done a little bit of research on here and I've determined for me that an $8 range has a safety margin for which you will not get purchases and sales in these little ups and downs. And I'm following this on my coding application here. This is PyCharm, which I put coding stuff on. I started this off before the downswing. I didn't have these ranges set appropriately, so I did a mini kind of paper buy sell. Ended up missing the downside because I hadn't had enough time to do enough research. So I'll run this off and we'll see where the current peak is. The last current peak I have registered here as 689.66. Have we gotten above that? Oh, it's the range has gone above that. So actually, what's the peak of the range? 689.7. So I can change. Just check that. The peak of the range 689. Oh, it's made 690. So it's just gone above this regionally. So I can change this. On paper, from the bottom end of this experiment, I purchased hypothetically in at 665. Now I'm just going to use my program to run off some data so I can use this. So hypothetically, this is paper trading. It's determining a model from which one will find a means to do this automatically. So the purpose of this is to find the bottom and to find the top, and for me to be able to set an automatic buy point or automatic sell point. So here the coding is set up to purchase or give me data $8 range out from the top or the bottom. Well, we've bought in at the bottom at 665 hypothetically. The top is 690. So the buy price for me would be 682. If it falls to 682, I experimenting with this would automatically buy. It gives me a difference of 17. That's 2.55%. So I'm using my code to give me some information. So that's kind of where I am. I'm paper trading and modeling the system to see how well it functions. So that's pretty much my update of where I am. In a few days time I should, or maybe today, I should get the webcam. I will sign in to my account. I'm getting about $3,000 off a PokerSite. That should come in about a week or so. And between now and then, I'm just going to do this paper modeling of the ups and downs of this to verify what kind of a range I need. As said, given the upside here, there'd be a locked-in buy. So one would actually go into the buy sell here and put in a sell at the specific price relative to the downside of where the peak was. So that's already established on here. So the current downside buy in will be 682. So if one was doing this in real time, one would go over here and put a buy in at 682, and that would register down here off screen. What's that number? Let me just check that. Got that wrong. What are you doing? Has it just rocketed up? Those numbers are different now. It's just gone through a little upswing, so I need to adjust this. 698.8. So this is actually 698. 8.8. Is that the top? We'll just check where the top is again, because it's gone up. Top is 698.8. That's good enough. 698.8. So we run the code. So that would give me The top is 698.8. That'll give me a bottom price buying at 690.8. So if I was operating live and doing this, I come over here and I put in a buy at, what was that number? 690.8. So I put a buy in at 690.8, which is below here. That's why this is a test system to see if it works, and that will just get put in. It'll only be changed if that went up to a higher peak. Then I would change the buying level, and you just leave it. You pretty much got to watch it, but leave it. And the same on the counterpoint for the downside upside. So that's currently what I'm doing, and I'll be coming back in here and giving an update further as to where I am. And I hope you find this useful, and that's it. One other thing I forgot to mention, I've been uploading this recording into my Camtasia, and I missed telling you something. And the market has moved since then, so we will be updating the data that I had before. In a minute, the market peak was at 698.74. That would go on here. 698.8, and this is my coding place. So according to what I was talking about before, for me, I would be setting a buying point at 690.8. Some time has gone by. Oops, what on earth happened there? Golly gee, don't do that. So what was that number? 690.8. So we follow this down. If I'd set up something automatically, 690.8. So I would have actually on paper would have purchased in at this point, and we can see it's gone down below. Now what I didn't tell you is that when you buy and sell, you don't buy at the market, you put it on limit and you buy on limit. If you buy and sell on limit, it doesn't cost you anything. There are no fees. You get 100% profit out of whatever your upside downside is. Now, in regard to this situation, having just sold, hypothetically on paper, from the last buy-in bottom here to the selling point here, I would have made, according to my calculations, 3.87%. So that's, and then the same procedure would be followed again. I would set this up on my coding, I've just sold, remember, I've got cash back, a new buy-in. So the buy-in will follow the downside now. It'll follow the downside till it reaches a bottom. It will set that upside buy-in $8 above that, and based on the model I'm currently exploring, it would buy in automatically relative to the bottom. So obviously you've got to sit around here, and when you establish a floor, then I can set a buy-in, and it will place it. Obviously it's a higher price, it'll place it in here somewhere, and when the market rises it'll do it. So I just want to point that one point out, that you actually buy and sell on limit, not on stop or market, and it don't cost you anything. So that's it. That's just the last update.